Hello everybody, it's Joe from JLW Games, coming at you with another cool video back in Planet Coaster in Arrow Valley, and today we're going to be building yet another roller coaster, and today we're going to be building a GCI wooden coaster, one of my favorite kinds of wooden coasters in the world. Now with this coaster, it's going to be a very large coaster, so that's one thing I'm very excited about, is that this is going to be a huge coaster, and it sits at, I believe it's at 177 feet tall, and it has a awesome drop turn, just like in typical GCI fashion. So it's gonna have this huge drop turn, and matter of fact, it might just be the largest drop turn in the world. I don't know. I have no idea. So it's about a 150-foot drop from the top. So this drop turn is ginormous, and at least it's probably the biggest drop turn on a GCI, at least. So the idea with this coaster is that it's going to stay low to the ground and be a speed-hungry coaster. So it's going to be, very fast and fast-paced and everything. Again, the only thing I don't really care for, of course, is the friction on the wooden coasters, which is something I hope they do adjust in the future in Planet Coaster. So that is something that a lot of people have been griping about, is the friction on the wooden coasters. And yes, there is a cheat to change the friction of your coasters, but it changes the friction of all your coasters. So if you did the cheat, it's going to change the friction for every single coaster in the park, and I don't want that. I just want to change the friction of the wooden coaster, because that's the one that seems the most inaccurate in my opinion. So anyways, this is a very, very cool ride. I think I turned out very, very nicely, and it's very big, so that was the idea. And I think it was a 2-minute plus ride, which is what I was going for, and it had about 4,700 feet long of track. So it's a very long ride, and I think it had a max speed of 69 miles per hour, so it's a pretty fast ride, of course. And when you hit the bottom of that first drop, you're going to be hitting 69 miles an hour on this coaster, and it's going to be awesome. So this is the 4th coaster to be added into the park thus far, and what I'm trying to do really in the park is to kind of get the layout of the park done. So we're adding a lot of coasters, we're adding a lot of different rides and new sections of the park. So we're getting all the sections of the park kind of built up, and then we are going to do all the detailing later on. So I do quite a bit of detailing throughout the series, but I'm going to be doing a lot more detailing, kind of like what we did with Westwood, as we're going to have those detailing episodes where we're just going to go back and we're going to really detail stuff, just to, get that final detailing down, because I do want to make sure that I get, again, this series is kind of on a time frame, so I want to make sure that I get plenty done before the time is up. So I have until next year, so it's not a huge, I think we're in a pretty good spot right now. After this episode, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot where we're at now, because again, after December, I'm going to be laid off from work, so I'm going to have nothing to do but play Planet Coaster. So that's going to help out a lot, so I'm going to be playing a lot of it. So that's going to just give me time to detail everything quite nicely. As you can see, we finished the layout, and now we go into building the station. Now it's a very basic kind of wooden coaster station, so nothing too fancy. I decided to use the it came from the Spooky Back. It was actually like a wall cover, but I use them for mostly ground textures as well, for the most part, more than anything. And it came from the Spooky Back, and it has some really cool wallpapers for your walls and everything, but I like using them as ground textures, kind of like path covers as well. They have this really good wooden texture that comes with it, and I really, really like it. Like, I'm glad that they added this, because this is a very nice texture to have for the ground. And again, if I want more textures, of course, you can always, again, use the video billboards as well to get different textures as well. So, but I like to stick to as much as in-game as possible. That way I don't have to use too many different textures using the billboards. So But I use the billboards mostly for concrete textures and like backstage areas and stuff, so that's really nice. So now we're going into kind of a little bit of the interior of the building, or the station building itself, and I want to make sure everything just kind of fits in and realism wise and everything like that. So we have a nice little control booth, operator's booth over there, and then we are going to build a little bit of the queue line, and it will become really nice. So I build the queue line pretty long in the end, so it is a pretty long queue line, but not super long. You know, for the wooden coaster, it's probably not going to be the most popular ride in the park, but it's still going to be a pretty popular ride, being a pretty large wooden coaster. So again, there's going to be quite a few coasters in this park. I know I originally said there's going to be at least 6. We've already got 4 in the park right now. So there could be possibly more than 6, but we'll see. As one of the coasters that are still going to be built is the RMC T-Rex coaster, which will be debuting as well. So we will get into that one as well. So, but I wanted another coaster, you know, that didn't go upside down, didn't have any inversions, and wooden coaster fits that very nicely when you just want something that has like airtime and twists and turns and stuff. Can't go wrong with a GCI Woody. So one of my favorite kind of coasters is definitely the GCI wooden coaster. So very nice ride, and it's a very large ride, and that's the idea, is that we're going to have some really big coasters. We're also going to have some small ones as well for the whole family. So you have those thrill seekers, there's going to be something for them, and then if you have like someone that's more for mild coasters, those will also be available as well for them at the same time. So anyways, this area turned out a lot better than I expected, actually, detail-wise, even though I haven't really fully detailed everything. I'm going to be coming back to the station a little bit more, because right now I just kind of made the shape of it more than anything. We're going to come back to it later on and actually build more details into it a lot better. So, and of course I got to surround it a little bit by some trees and different bushes and stuff, because it makes the ride look a lot better. Let's be honest, you know how Joe is. He loves his trees, and he's got to have his trees in the park. So this is going to be a pretty big park for the most part, so it's going to turn out pretty cool. I'm very excited, and of course, I didn't forget about the transfer track as well, so that is going in as well for this wooden coaster. And I got myself down of how to build some transfer tracks that look pretty believable, I think. So I always use this method of just using the kind of like this metal piece, and then of using the railroad tracks as kind of like the track for the transfer. So it's kind of an interesting thing. It works really nicely, and it actually looks very believable. So I like the transfer track method that I do use, and I think it's really good. So as for the building here, it's only going to be fitting one train in here. So there's going to be the other trains will be stored in the station building, so only one train can be worked on at a time in the building. So I'm still debating whether I had 2 or 3 trains. I have enough block sections for 3, but that's only because I put an extra block section on the back of the station. So I don't know. I'll probably just run with 2 trains just for realism purposes, and I think it doesn't need more than 2 trains. So it's not gonna have a super long line, so I don't think it'll need 3 trains at all. So but this station turned out pretty good. And then of course the transfer track with the transfer, or the maintenance building, also turned out really nicely. And then since I got rid of the supports, it also got rid of the walkway as well. So I kind of made my own custom walkway for the transfer track, which I thought turned out actually pretty nice. So it's actually kind of cool on making my own little wooden platform for the transfer track as well. So I would love to maybe figure out somehow to build a control box on the on different transfer tracks, and make those look really nice. So but it's going to be a very basic like queue line. Again, this park is not going to be heavily themed, so you're not going to see a lot of theming through the queue line. So it's going to be very basic queue lines and theming throughout the park. So that's one thing that makes this park a little bit easier, is I don't have to theme like the queue lines very much. You know, I just got to maybe build a building around them, and just different things like that, maybe some nice foliage or something like that. So they're not going to be heavily themed. I don't have a name or anything for this coaster just yet, so as of right now, it's just kind of like a basic wooden coaster, and it's going to have like some random name just to, you know, be there. Just again, it's another ride, another coaster. It's all for the thrill experience more than it is for the theming, unlike kind of like Westwood or something like that. So that's going to be cool. I'm very excited for the rest of the park. It's going to turn out good. And again, I was very impressed with this section of the park that I have started building. And again, I haven't built too much on the left side of the park. So this was a very great addition, I think. So now you're going to have this, you know, big wing coaster to your right, and then you're going to see this huge wooden coaster on your left. And it's going to be very nice. I knew I wanted a wooden coaster, but I didn't know if I wanted a RMC wooden coaster or a GCI wooden coaster, and I decided to go with the GCI because we already have an RMC wooden coaster at Westwood. And again, I wanted to kind of differ this park away from Westwood, so it's a lot different. It's going to be a different experience than Westwood. Same company, but it's going to be a completely different experience. So this park is all for, like, you know, more coasters, more rides and everything, and Westwood's more of theming, and there's less rides, but there is a lot more theming for each ride, which is going to be really cool. And then of course we have the new coaster coming to Westwood next year in Canyon Runner, which was announced last month, or a little over a month ago. And that's going to be a nice ride, and I want to kind of make sure everyone knows that the announcement video was not final for the coaster design, or completely the way the coaster is going to turn out. There's going to be a lot more theming elements throughout the ride, so there's going to be a lot more of rock work and different things like that. It's going to make it look really, really cool, and I might do some episodes on it just to show its progress and everything on how that's coming along, and that's going to be a really, really nice addition for that park. So again, I'm going to be continuing my trend of adding rides and attractions for each park as the years go by. So kind of like Six Flags in a way, where I'm committed to adding something new to each park each and every year. And again, this is the second park that is coming to the chain. So the first one is Westwood, and then Arrow Valley will be opening next year in 2018. Rustic City, my new park that I started as well, will be might be opening by 2018. I'm not sure how long that one's going to take. So that one's kind of on edge, and there could be multiple parks opening in 2018. My goal is also to have Celebration City open by 2018. That is actually going to be part of the timeline for JLW Entertainment as well. So that one's scheduled to open in 2018 as well. It's kind of a smaller side project, but it will be cool to see that Celebration City will be opening back up under the JLW Entertainment name, and there's a lot of new things going on over there. So new coasters, new rides, and just kind of like a new layout for the park itself. It's going to be really, really neat. So anyways, I just kind of like decorate a little bit around the queue line here, just to kind of finish up and touch it up just a little bit more. I did use the in-game railings for right now. I could change that later on, maybe in the like detail episodes, but for right now, it does work quite well. So I want to hear what you guys think about these faster time lapses that I'm using. A lot of people have requested faster time lapses since, you know, I am very much of a slow builder, and it does take a lot more effort and time to get these videos out. I will say that, but I am committed to that if that's what everyone would like to see. So again, it's like 2.5 hours of footage condensed into like under 20 minutes. So it's very, very time consuming to get these episodes out for sure. And I hope you guys are enjoying them as much as I am making them, because I'm having a blast actually making all these videos for you guys. And my goal is to try and keep the videos coming along with some live streams when I'm available to do those. So I did quite a few videos just to get through and try and get videos out each day of the week. So that's kind of what I'm trying to commit to on my days off, is actually work on a lot of different projects as well. So you're going to see Arrow Valley in some time lapses. You're going to see Rustic City, of course, in time lapses. And of course, for the live streams, it's probably going to be either Golden Valley, sometimes Arrow Valley. Arrow Valley will have some live streams occasionally. And yes, all the other projects I'm working on. So the Planet Coaster project and just different things like that. So this section of the park is going to be kind of cool. It's going to have kind of like a westerny kind of theme to it, not like heavily themed, but you're going to see a lot more wooden structures and stuff like that. And just in this section, kind of like maybe think a little bit of the Frontier Town and Cedar Point. Maybe might give you a kind of an idea of how that will turn out. So I had this little planter section to try and blend in the pathway. It turned out pretty nicely. I just, of course, did the same thing with the other ones as well. I like using the rock structures around, just kind of like nice and creative. Looks kind of cool. So that's about, I think, the last thing I do in this time lapse. So that's going to finish that time lapse up. So again, I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section below of what you're thinking about the live streams. I'm going to try and keep them coming because a lot of people don't want to sit through 2 hours of videos of a live stream, you know, for instance, which I totally understand, which I'm still going to keep the live streams coming. I'm just going to try and add the videos in there as well. So people that don't want to watch the live streams that suffer through a 2.5 hour live stream can actually watch something that's 2.5 hours long, but within under 20 minutes. So that's kind of a fun thing there. So again, there's Arrow Valley will go off and on between live streams and time lapses. Rustic City will be time lapses only, and of course the Golden Valley will be live streams as well. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content like this. And that's gonna about do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you have a great day and an even cooler tomorrow, and I will catch you guys in the next episode or live stream, whichever you watch next. So thanks so much, guys, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, and goodbye.